What it do, what it is, what it ain't. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Get Right Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to get notifications of new content. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you dig? Cue the music. Yo, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. It's your boy T. It's the Get Right Podcast. Season 7, bro. We rolling. Almost near that honey bun. That nice little honey bun. DC know what that is now if y'all listen to the last episode. And of course, I'm never rolling solo. I got the homie with me. The brain trust. The boy Rod. What's some 3 words, bro?
What up, though?
Yes, sir. We're going to talk about that, man. And of course, people that love to hate the love, man. DC. What's good, bro?
It's your boy DC in the place to be. The truth shall set you free.
Yes, sir.
The one they love to hate to love. Shout out to the 80s.
Yes,
K
sir.
Dot. The whole
Man,
community. We in here.
Yep.
We outside. Turn the TV off. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And speaking of in here, man, we got a guest with us. And y'all might have seen it on our Instagram page, our Facebook page. I'm calling him your agent's favorite agent. You know what I'm saying? So the homie, man, he listened to the show. Great friend outside of this show, man. The homie Donald Rollack. What's up, bro?
Hey, what up, though?
Rod nodding his head like, yeah. He love when he gets somebody from the city here. Man, so what's up, bro? Like, you know, tell us who you are. What you doing? Where you from? Where you at? What block you on? All that.
My name is Don. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I now reside in Fort Million, South Carolina.
Nice.
That's why I call it Fort Million. Where people who don't know what Fort Million is, it's Fort Mill, which is a suburb of Charlotte, South Carolina. Been down here, roughly, it's been a minute. I guess almost 9 years. Wow, that's crazy.
Bro, that's life, bro.
Coming from the Midwest. Of course, people who don't know me came from the Midwest. I grew up in Detroit. That's one of those famous words, what up, doe? So if you're from Detroit, you know what those really mean. Went to Michigan State undergrad, moved to Chicago from Michigan State, and then moved here to South Carolina after Chicago. So,
Man, what brought you all the way down here, man, from the Midwest, though?
2 things.
No.
My wife was offered a promotion, and then I already had family here. My mother's side of her family is from here. So now it's easy for me to get to the family reunions because all I had to do is get down to take 77 down to 26 and 26 over to 95 and on up, and I'm at my grandma's spot. And that's where all the family No, she's in a small town called Summerton, which is between Santee and Manning, South Carolina.
Okay.
So if you know that little corridor, not too far away from Charleston, I'm right there.
Okay.
So
all right.
Everything just happened to line up, you know. Sometimes that's why they tell you to let go, let God, right? Things line up, and that's how we end up being here.
If you Black, you got family in the South, bro. Like I think every person we've ever had has always, like, even if you're not from the South, you got roots down here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro. You got South Carolinas, your Mississippi's, your Alabamas, your Texas.
Yeah.
A little bit of Florida, but yeah, you. Yeah.
And it's my father's side of the family is from Florida, so that's the crazy thing.
Boom.
There you go.
And my mom and my dad met at Texas College in undergrad. So both of them from the South end up meeting in Texas, which is kind of crazy.
As long as they ain't Cowboy fans, it's all good, bro.
My mom is, but you know, I think she's probably more Detroit now since she's been in Detroit all these years.
Yeah, no, she's a Cowboys fan. When you're a Cowboys fan, you're a fan for life. There's no getting out. There's no getting out, bro.
Better choice for
Detroit.
Detroit.
Her sorority sister is still a diehard Cowboys fan. So when y'all was winning it in the 90s, she was throwing all the parties. Soon y'all started losing, it was no more Super Bowl parties.
That's crazy. When's the last time the Lions had a Super Bowl party?
50 something.
All right.
Technically, that's not even a Super Bowl. World champion.
You sound like Jerry Jones out here.
I'm just saying.
Well, this year, that'll be the last time.
Okay.
That'll be the next
I mean,
time,
I ain't gonna lie. Pistons. The Lions are looking good this year. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, what am I gonna say? We got our asses whooped.
That's right.
So
belts to ass, bro.
We still got trophies though. We still got them trophies though.
30 years
ago. Trophy
ago.
case looking nice though.
I told you this. I think this was last season or maybe the season before we talked about it. And I said, Cowboy fans do remind me of Michigan fans. Up until this last, or I guess that would be this year, up until this year when we won a natty, it's been 26 years before we won anything. And, you know, some of our fans act like we were actually competing every year for it. So that's the Cowboys, bro. They're very similar. And the Cowboys they draft a lot of Michigan players. So shout out to them for that. But that's what that reminded me of. And I used to be like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like, we ain't won nothing until we did. So now I can actually talk. So once the Cowboys actually get over that hump and win something, then they can talk, bro.
Give the Cowboys one credit, though. They do win something. We keep talking about them.
That's true.
Whether they have a good season or a bad season, Jerry Jones is still accomplishing what he wanted to accomplish. You mentioned the Cowboys at least once a day, right?
Yeah.
And think about the marketing dollars from that. Whether they win or lose, they're still making money from merchandising. They're one of the highest rated franchise. Matter of fact, I think they rated higher than the Yankees.
Yeah, the most valuable in America.
If he had to make a sale. So we're still talking about him. So he's still making his money. Now, if they really want to do something on the football field, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Jerry knows he needs to bring in a general manager. But I get it. You did it your way back in the 90s, but doing it your way now is not gonna work. There's so many analytics and everybody that's on a football staff now that's doing research and everything. I know, Jerry, you had it down for a minute. It's time to go ahead and let somebody help you. And I'm not saying give it up, but let's bring in somebody to help you.
I mean, at a certain point, and if it's sort of like politicians too, right? Like Jerry is how old? 82?
Being there.
He's up there.
He just turned something because we whooped his ass on his birthday, which, sorry, Jerry. But he's in his 80s.
That was coming. That was a long time coming.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah. And I will say, you know, you talk about he did his thing in the 90s. You know, I'm an avid Cowboys fan. He blew that team up in the 90s because really he had Jimmy Johnson. And if Jimmy Johnson had stayed, who knows what that dynasty could have been. But they couldn't get along. Jimmy Johnson was out. And they ended up winning one more chip just off of raw talent alone with Barry Switzer. But really, he had a good thing, and one could say that he ruined a good thing in the 90s by not getting out of the way of Jimmy Johnson.
And that was in his prime. So imagine how he is right now when he's 80-something. Again, like the politician reference.
Yeah, 82.
Politician reference, we talk about presidents and senators and governors. They need to be out because at 80, bro, like, what are you doing? You can still be smart, but your skill set is diminishing. And at that age, bro, just get some help. Let it go. It's okay. Keep it going, though. I like to see the Cowboys lose a couple, so keep it going. Sorry, Jerry. Stay in here, Jerry. You can do it. You know, defy all odds, bro. Go for it, Jerry.
Jerry. To get him the Joe Biden
Jerry.
I wanted to go back there for a minute, Rob, when you brought out that the Lions took it to the Cowboys in their house. That was a long time coming because yesterday, what came across my feed, I remember when Matthew Stafford threw a pass to Pettigrew and the linebacker did a pass interference. The referees call it pass interference. This is a playoff game. And then later on, they picked up the flag and said it was all right because Jerry made a phone call.
Yep. Sure. Never seen that before in history, man. Never. And that changed the trajectory of that game. Then last year, you can even go back to last year with the reporting eligible Dan Skipper situation when we
that tackle,
won the game off a 2-point conversion. And, you know, I mean, they stole it from us. So I agree with you, Don.
That worked out because we got to the NFC Championship game.
Facts.
Right? Because they ended up having to take Green Bay, and Green Bay blew them out.
Oh, yeah, they boat raced them for sure, man. So, Don, man, like, bro, you're a numbers guy, you're an analytics guy, bro. Like I said, man, there's everybody's favorite agent, bro. You are a go-getter, man. You know, working with Affleck, insurance, business. One, bro, what made you get into anything like that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see a lot of brothers out there in the ground like that, bro. And usually they behind the desk, bro. But you are moving and shaking, bro. How did you get behind that?
So, give you the short story. Short story is I was in higher education, and then I also did some little bit of coaching too, college, NAIA. So what happened? My mother-in-law was actually diagnosed with a very, very rare cancer, and I saw that she had all these supplemental plans, and they were paying out like clockwork every time she would go get treatment. So I was like, well, I see how that can help somebody. Well, let me leave higher education and pursue a career in being an insurance producer because I want to give back and help people. Now I have a story I can testify to it. So in 2017, I left higher education and got my insurance producer license, and then I started grinding from there. Which I will tell everybody, it looks easier when you say it to people exactly what you do, but that thing you got to work for it. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's not like you will walk into the business and like, ooh, you start making money right away. Nope, you got to grind. If you don't grind, you don't shine.
That's a fact. And I know sales is just, sales can be tough. And I imagine in your role, do you have to do like a lot of cold calls or just knocking on doors? How do you go about building your
If
business?
you are totally green, yes, you're gonna have to knock on doors.
Did you do any of that or?
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
guess what? I sucked for 6 months of doing it.
Mm.
Didn't sell a dime. What saved me was I knew what I was getting myself into,
Mm-hmm.
and I saved up money. So just because when I hit see those rainy days or those bumps in the road, right, it will still get me on the track. Because what happens, especially when you got somebody who's totally new, if they don't see any money in 4 weeks, what's the purpose of staying?
Yeah.
Right. But what I was doing, I was homing and sharpening my skills. So I roughly said 6 months. I would say between September and December,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't producing any. And then I will give a shout out to the company, the former company I was with. Most of the time they'll just write you off. Well, this person ain't going to do anything, right? It's been almost
Mm-hmm.
like 6 months, but I kept trying. And then when January came the following year, 2018, it was like a light bulb switch just went off, and I started producing. So one, I had to stop talking myself out of things that assuming that people don't want this. And you get that way because when you go into a couple of businesses and you get a couple of no's, I don't care what anybody tell you. If everybody keep telling you no, that's gonna mess with your psyche.
Facts.
And right, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
am I in the right business? So what I had to learn was the right approach. The way that the former company did our pitch, in a way, was somewhat, I would say, somewhat insulting. I mean, it works for them. So I'll give you an example. I will look up a company name and I'll find out who that owner was. I will go to the front desk. I'm like, hey, T, tell DC Donald's here to see him. So T will automatically assume that
That you know DC.
DC may know me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when DC comes out and he's looking at who are you, and then I hit him with a pitch, he's running me out because I'm running his time, right? And
Yeah.
not only that, we call him the gatekeeper, which would be T in this situation, is also looking perplexed. So a lot of times you will see signs that say no soliciting. You got to know how to go in and do an approach. Just because you do an approach doesn't mean soliciting. You just got to ask the right questions and say the right things. But for
Yeah.
anybody who's totally green, yes, you're gonna have to knock on doors. You're gonna have to make phone calls, and unfortunately, that's how you get baptized in business. And those who want to try to do a shortcut on that, they're not gonna last. Once you can get past that stage, and once you can start getting clients, and once you can prove what you said what you're gonna do for them, and do it, what will happen? You will start end up getting referrals from those people. And that's what you want to do. You want to try to work this business until you get into a referral type of business because it's just that much easier. Now, if I go to Rod and say, hey, the reason why I'm reaching out to you, DC, we both know DC, he told me you had a similar situation and he think I can help you. I'm not sure exactly how deep your situation is. You mind sharing with me and I can see what I can do for you. If I can't do it for you, maybe I have somebody that's in my circle park can do something for you. It's easy having those conversations. So when you can have a conversation with somebody, everything comes less salesy, which comes to the
Yeah.
next difference. Everybody don't know how to talk to people. They just be in sell mode. right?
Yeah,
Because they want to move
that's a
that product.
fact.
Hey, take this kitchen sink 2000. All right, man, my kitchen sink is fine, but no, it's not the kitchen sink 2000. We have this, this, and this, and this. Bruh, I'm telling you, I'm not in the market for a kitchen sink. You know what? Leave.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're disrupting my business. Now, if I come in and saying, hey, I want to get to know about you and in your business, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have type of things that we help business, but I'm not sure exactly how I can help you until we have a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're having a discovery. Now I can find out what your pain points are. Now I can offer solutions to those pain points.
that's a fact. And I like
Facts.
that word
See,
discovery.
but a lot of people don't, like you just said, don't care about that, bro. I see a person and there's just a dollar bill. There's just a dollar sign. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm just trying to
All
tell
right,
you what
so
you need to hear.
we have a term for a person like that. That's called commission breath. And guess what?
But
Business owners can smell commission breath a mile away. They can see that you're trying to make a sale.
Yeah.
The whole reason why we're in the business is to do what's right for the client or the prospective client. Yes, do we make a living by helping people? Yes, that's one of the reasons why I chose this profession. I
Mm-hmm.
get to help people and still make a living.
big time. What you about to say, Rod?
Now that sales 101, right? Like one of the things that naturally I would call myself a hustler, but one of the things that I had to learn how to translate that to a business sense when I was a loan officer is what am I actually selling, right? And for me, it was myself. I had to sell myself first
Yeah.
because honestly, there's going to be somebody that has lower rates. There's going to be somebody that
Yeah.
always has something that they can push price, right? So I had to sell me first, which opens up the door for, like Don was saying, those conversations of getting to know the personality, getting to know the person, getting that trust. Once I have your trust, and there's an old saying, and it sounds cliche as hell, but it is 100% accurate. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's big facts, bro.
And
I live by that.
if I show you that I care about, one, the product that I'm selling, and two, the understanding your situation and understanding how my product can help that, like that's a win-win. And that's, I think, all people are looking for, is being human. And Don is a human, right? He always comes across as a human.
Facts.
And that's what makes, in my opinion, him successful in a business that's tough to be successful in.
I'm still here. I'm still surviving. 5 years this month with Aflac. So been in the game for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 years.
And 7 years
5
is
years with it.
a long time in the corporate or just that world, right? And I've spoke to people obviously through you, and you made a great impression on people, man. What would you tell us or anybody, like, well, how do you stay relevant? How do you stay relevant in your field to what DC was saying? Like, you gotta be that go-to person. If you don't know somebody, you know somebody, but how do you stay relevant, man?
You got to read. Unfortunately, a lot of times, sometimes we want that instant gratification. Hey, Evan, give it to me. Let me listen to a podcast real quick. Let me hear somebody verbally say it. But sometimes you got to pick up a manual or a book and read, right? See what's the growing trends, what's happening. I can tell you right now, colon cancer's rates, they're saying it's going to go up 100% within the next 5 years. I can tell you from a cancer standpoint, right? 1 out of every 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer, which is higher than women because just 1 out of every 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
No, and I'll tell, like, when I have my group of friends, I don't try to sell them any policies because that's just not me. They want something or want to know something, I tell them about the education. But I only hit them, and I hit them all at the same time. But I'll put on a chat line, hey, I'm only going to mention this once. If any of y'all want a cancer plan, hit me up. Because nobody wants to be that friend. Like, this person, every time I see them, they're trying to sell me something, right? So I'm only going to mention it once. And if you don't take me up on it, you don't take me up on it. I feel better knowing that I put it out there.
Yeah.
And it's been so many cases where people don't take me up on things, and later on something happened to one of their family members, right? They could have been on their family plan. So, that's the kind of person I am. I try to get to know you, show you what I can offer. And it's like hey, life insurance, right? You're paying into it because it's just in case something happened. Well, something is going to happen. We just don't know what it is. So, and it's fortunate for me, I get to offer all those plans to cover those what ifs if something happened. Because what's the worst thing of being sick?
What's the
Being
worst
dead?
thing?
What's the worst thing being sick? Not dead, because dead you mean you relief. Well, what's worse being sick?
I guess hurt.
Not having insurance, not having something that can cover it.
So going with Rod, what's worse than being sick is being broken sick.
Bars.
All right. So what drove me to a company like Aflac, and actually that was with another company before Aflac, but similar products, is that supplemental insurance is designed to pay the policyholder. I can't pay my mortgage, my car note, my utilities with my Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's not designed for that. It's designed to take care of the doctors and hospitals, and it's also designed for me to probably come out of pocket if my insurance doesn't cover everything, right? So now I got this gap I got to fill. Well, you enter supplemental insurance, it helps you cover those gaps because I'm going to get the money paid directly to me, and I can do whatever I want to do with it. So if I need to cover some more medical bills, cover the medical bills. If I want to get the new J's, DC, I'm getting the new J's. There's no stipulation of what I do with the money because I paid into this policy.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I went the supplemental insurance route.
Okay.
Nice
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Y'all were talking about all the things that make a successful salesperson. You know what I found is I think it's just experience, man. Because I've been in sales since maybe 08-ish, something like that. I started with banking and then in real estate, and I've been in real estate ever since. But I've had a pitch, and you just go in straight with the pitch. Some of it's nerves, some of it's training. But you're right. I mean, after a while, you have to realize that one, you have to believe in the product or service that you're selling. You have to sell yourself, and you have to ask questions. You know what I mean? Make sure that whatever it is that you're offering is even a fit for the person you're offering it to.
And that's why you gotta have that discovery meeting.
Yeah, the discovery. That's why, earlier I was saying, I love that word, discovery, because it truly is. Like, and now, like, even with Real Property Management Midlands, when I'm talking to prospective clients, I'm in a way qualifying them. You know what I mean? Like, even though, they're the ones that ultimately have to choose to do business with me and hire me, but it's like I look at it as we're qualifying each other. You know what I mean? My business might be a little bit different, but the way I look at it is this. I use this example a lot talking to my team. Chick-fil-A, I love Chick-fil-A. I talk to if I talk about process and whatnot, I just love the Chick-fil-A process. Like, no matter what Chick-fil-A you go to, it's always the same. No matter what, there's always a line wrapped around the corner, and you're still out like that. Every time you get a chicken sandwich, there's always, like, I think 3 pickles right in the middle, the same way every single time. Whenever you pull ahead, they always say, "It'll be my pleasure to serve you," no matter where you go, right? You can't go to Chick-fil-A and ask for a burger. You can't go to Chick-fil-A and ask for a pizza. You can't go to Chick-fil-A and order however you want. You have to do it a certain kind of way. They have a niche and they own it. And I kind of, operate I try to operate in a very similar way. And when you do that, to your point, man, I think it just really reinforces that confidence in the product or service that you're offering. And just like you said, Don, you mentioned it one time, like to your friends and family, because it's like, bro, I'm gonna do me regardless. I have a service that you're really kind of missing out if you don't jump on. So I'm gonna mention it. If you don't take it, it's on you. I love that approach. I love that approach, and clearly it's worked, right?
And just think about it. We all have those also a set of friends or set of colleagues that we met in our life. And that's all they do is try to push a product, push. Where it comes to the point where I'm going to avoid this person now because now the conversations now is really starting to get uncomfortable.
Right.
So when I come around, I don't want you to think, oh, this is what Donald's trying to push. No, I already mentioned it. You know what I do. And now let's talk about the Lions and Pistons. Or, if I'm not talking about the Lions and Pistons, I'm talking about the Raiders and Suns. Because those are my other 2 teams that I like. So we can have a conversation. But I'm pretty sure you'll probably bring up one of my other favorite topics later on in the discussion. So I'll wait to that time.
Yeah, man. I mean, when you not, you know what I'm saying, knocking on doors. I'm air quoting that. What's your other hobbies, bro? What are you doing, bro?
Oh, well, if it has nothing to do with insurance, I'm probably collecting bourbon and tasting bourbon.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
And and I got some other stuff sprinkled in here so I can be a good house guest. I have some tequila, I have some rum, um, have some vodka for those who want to drink that stuff. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it's good for cleaning. But I do have it just in case people, just in case people want to partake.
I mean,
But I would say whiskey and predominantly bourbon. It's probably one of my hobbies.
bruh,
Yeah, man.
for those all of us been to your place, the basement. I
Been to
call
the
it the boom
library.
boom room. I call it the boom boom room. But bruh, what got you collecting bottles and I'm gonna say thousands. I could be wrong, but
It's
what?
not thousands of bottles.
what got you in collecting? Just like collecting that.
Honestly, it just kind of happened.
Like, was you just at a party one day? It was like, yo, I like this bottle, and then you just went on the internet and went nuts. Like, what happened, bro?
Yeah, just like how I listen to you guys' podcasts, I started following podcasts and YouTube videos. People talking about it. Me also drinking it. But first I was more of a wine person. Short story. I told you I was with another company before. I took a break from insurance, and I ended up working for the Postal Service. And one day, wine wasn't doing it. Coming home from work, I needed something a little bit stronger.
Man, about to go postal.
Well, what is this? This listeners, this brown drink here. So it kind of started off with that. Started off with the flavored whiskeys in the beginning. So Crown Royal, that's one product people probably know.
Purple bag.
And then after that, I started kind of getting out of the flavored whiskeys and started enjoying the other whiskeys, for its natural flavors. I can tell you about notes, but that's not they put those things in the bourbon. It just happened to taste like that. So when we talk about notes, we're basically referencing, all right, this liquid tastes like this. Is something you might know. So anybody who ever tried cotton candy, they're like, hey, this kind of tastes like cotton candy. It doesn't mean the cotton candy is in it. It just the flavor from the liquid, how it matured in the wood, came off to be. So a lot of my bourbon, I have a lot of store picks, which means that a store went out and actually picked that barrel and say, I want that barrel. So if you're at my house, chances are you have something that you thought you had before, and the liquid might taste a little bit different because a lot of my stuff are, like I said, are one-offs.
Man, bro.
Everything went over my head because I'm not a bourbon guy, but I've seen you and obviously been at your place, man, and seen you in action and talking about it and educating it, man. And he was like, oh, bro, yeah, this bourbon here came from this country, bro, and it was ran through the rocks. And I'm like, bro. And anybody seen that meme with that bubble over the head with all the variables, X, Y, greater than? I was like, yeah, this is.
And actually, the bourbon process is somewhat like that, But just small education, to be considered a bourbon, it has to be in the United States. And it has to be at least 51% corn. So if it's not made in the United States, from the United States, we're going to consider that a whiskey.
Yeah.
So, but one thing that's kind of funny, you had a battle with Tennessee and everybody else. Tennessee, whether they make a bourbon or not, Tennessee's still going to call it whiskey because that's the thing, Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah,
right.
The battle between Tennessee and Kentucky, and everybody think that bourbon has to come from Kentucky. No, you just got to be in the United States as long as it's 51% corn.
Yeah, I used to think that for a long time that it was Kentucky bourbon, almost like champagne. People use the term champagne universally, but really champagne is sparkling wine from Champagne. Exactly. And that's what I used to think that that's how it was with bourbon. Like bourbon was a loosely used term, but really is for Kentucky. And I learned that from Don. Matter of fact, man, I considered myself something of a bourbon connoisseur until I met Don, and Don put me on game, and I had to give him the nickname Obi Don Kenobi. You know what I mean? Because I feel like young Luke Skywalker, man, and Don Kenobi kind of took me under the wing, man, and kind of just showed me some things, bro.
Hey, so real quick,
hold on,
real quick. if the audience could have seen DC's face at that first bourbon bash, I don't think I've ever seen an adult look that happy in my life, dog. So
like 7 years old on Christmas Day, bro. And I was trying to tell him, and I told Don, I was like, "Yo, you gotta meet our guy DC, bro. We do the pod with him, bro. You gotta meet him, bro. He gonna be his niche." And I told DC about him, like, bro, met a great guy, man. Like, you really gotta, next time you in town, bro, we gotta come over here, bro. Like, you gotta check it out, bro. You gotta check it out. And he was like, "Oh man, you know about bourbon, bro? I got my thing set up, bro. You seen my stuff in my crib?" I'm like, "Bro, it's not like that, bro.
Nah,
It's
he's on another
different."
level.
I'm telling you, it's different, bro. Like, it's different, bro. I'm just telling you,
DC,
bro.
did I send you the spread from the last one?
Yeah. Yep. No. No, because I think I know I missed it.
Yeah, he missed it. Nah,
You
bro.
can ask Rod and T. People were overstimulated.
yeah.
That's a nice PC word.
No bottles were killed because it was so many options.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just sent it to you. Check your phone.
All right, I'm gonna definitely
look.
But yeah, you put me on, like, even like, it's funny you mentioned like the different notes and whatnot. My bar before we linked up was, "Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, that's smooth. This is good for an old fashioned." Not even the chocolate notes, the caramel, the vanilla. So now I'm getting to the point, even smelling it through the glass and whatnot. I'm now like getting to the point where I'm drinking them neat, because I used to never drink bourbon neat. But if you really want to get those flavors, that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? And so now, like, I find myself, drinking them neat, trying to identify notes. I'm at the point now, I can confidently identify caramel. I can kind of do vanilla. A lot of the other notes I still am working on. You know what I'm saying? But I know caramel is like a big, for those who don't know, it's a kind of a pretty big thing in bourbon.
Are you an Old Forester guy?
So not really.
Okay.
Not really. And what's funny is, a lot of people, when I say caramel, you would think, oh, Buffalo Trace. I'm not a huge fan of Buffalo Trace either, to be honest with you.
It happens.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind it, but I'm not as like, rah, it's great like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, Buffalo Trace is very popular. You know what I really been on lately? And actually, I got put on to this bottle at the first bourbon bash I went to, the Bibb and Tucker. I think it's Bibb and Tucker 6 year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that, like, I keep that at the house at all times now.
Okay.
All time. Like, it's good neat. It's good on the rocks. Makes an amazing old fashioned. That's what I'm on. And Jefferson as well. It's probably the two, since we met. Those are things I probably would have never, like, if I see it on the shelf, I probably would have never even looked at it. And so, but now when I go, I specifically look for something I haven't had or I haven't seen. And to your point, like you said, the store picks, I'd never even heard of such a thing before. I got it with Obi-Don Kenobi, man. So yeah, the man knows what he's talking about, bro. Every time he speaks on that subject, bro. I'm listening.
Pay that man his commission, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Pay that man his commission, bro. Because me and Rob, we just like, bro, we just got some wine, bro, some beer, bro. I do a little bit of rum. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only reason he probably got rum in the boom boom.
You drink rum?
Yeah, bro. It's a nice good rum punch. You make a nice good rum punch.
Rum
bro.
was my first love.
Really?
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's a good rum punch. Oh, bro. Nice good rum punch.
Yeah.
Just go to Jamaica, DC.
Yeah, bro. They got some good rum punch there too. Amazing.
See, but I don't really like those super sweet drinks, and rum is usually on the sweeter side.
It is.
Well,
yeah,
stay away from rum then.
Yeah.
Stick to your
but
100
there's
proof
some
octane.
rums that are not so sweet.
Yeah. That's why I like old fashioned, because there's a little bit of sweetness, but that's really just to kind of cut the bite from the whiskey. It just kind of sweets it just a little bit, so you can kind of sip it without having to like throw it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
With all of this bourbon, the whiskey, the bourbon, all that good stuff, man. And I know that's one of your hobbies, bro. You listen to our show, bro. You know, we talk sports, we talk music, bro. What gets you going, bro? What's your music of choice that get you going for your day, your evening, or you going through it? Like, bro, how do you turn up and change that rain
I think
to
I'm
sun?
probably a little more eclectic, because I listen to when I say I listen to everything, I listen to everything.
Okay.
But if I'm creating a playlist, my playlist is going to be a smooth playlist.
Really?
Yeah, mood music. That's what some people will call it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just
Really?
who I am. That's just
Yeah.
Bro,
who I
I'm
am.
into that, bro. I listen to so I call it. Sometimes people call it elevator music. You know what I'm saying? And I listen, or mood music, like instrumentals with no vocals, kind of stuff.
That too.
Bro, I listen to that a lot,
Mm.
and it's just like I did not know that. I ain't know
Man,
that,
nah,
man.
bro.
Dog, you all right with me, bro?
Hey, I got a guy because you listen to that type of stuff. I got a guy you can look up. His stuff is on Apple Music.
Mhm.
Arab Music.
Come on, dog. Stop. Don't insult me. You know I know about Arab music.
Okay.
Bro, let me tell you, Arab
We
music.
talking about him last week.
Yeah, he makes
Yep.
that type of music, but he also makes hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on who he's working with, it will kind of he'll switch it up a little bit. Matter of fact, he just dropped a mixtape with Dave East
Yep.
last
Okay.
week, and that thing was hard. I know T rock with Dave East. I don't
Yes,
think Rod
sir.
listen to Dave East like that, but they just did a joint tape just last week. But
You just put me
Arab
up on
music
that.
is also known to just drop instrumental tapes all the time as well.
Yeah, I know
love
a
that
lot of
music.
people like to sample his music, and that's how I
Yeah.
got put on to him. One day I was listening to a guy out of Detroit, and I was listening like that sounds like Arab music, which was.
Yeah.
But it sounded like he made it for him. So like he did a good job of taking that his music and making it into a good song.
That's what's
Man,
up.
more people. I don't understand why he's not bigger than what he is. Honestly, like I just like I don't get it. Maybe it's just me, but I know people don't just listen to instrumentals. I get that, but as far as if you're a hip hop lover, I don't get why he doesn't get more placements. I don't know if it's just by his choice or just the industry don't rock with him like that. But I don't think I've ever heard an Arab music beat that did not slap to me. You know what I'm saying?
And guess what I'm doing right now? I'm downloading the Living Proof right now.
Yeah.
There it is. So you saying you listen to any and everything?
Yes, any and everything.
All right, man. You want to get ignorant? What's your track list?
That's my track list.
We getting ignorant, bro. We about to turn up. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me pull up one of my.
You might be in the car. It's gonna make you exceed the speed limit. We all got those kind of
Exceed the
songs. It's gonna be
speed
like, yo,
limit.
I'm turned up, bro. I'm exceeding the speed limit now.
Man, as you talking about that, I'm looking at this picture that Don sent. Bro, where that Sir Davis, man? I want to try that Sir Davis, that Beyonce, but I don't want to pay for it.
I actually
Yeah.
have a bottle of it.
Oh yeah?
I couldn't find it here. I got it when I was in Chicago.
He has every
Man.
bottle, bro. Like, what are you talking about, bro? It's a library, bro.
Road trip coming soon, man.
You know.
Hey, I tried to get you to come up while I was watching the Spartans game because I knew I was gonna be drinking that day. Luckily, we got that W.
You did.
Luckily, we got that W.
But yeah, so you said what you doing, bro? How you turning up? Bro?
Let's see. I'm just going through a lot of my playlists. It's all chill, man.
Man. I mean, I love the cool vibes, bro, but sometimes you gotta go ignorant, man. And the reason why I asked that question because I know you talked about it with us. You know, we bring some of our text messages on the platform, but that Kendrick, bro.
If I need to get hyped up, first I'm listening to every day I'm hustling.
Rick Ross, okay.
All right. Hustle Hard, which was another one of Rick Ross. Ace Hood. I Want It All. That was by Fiend, formerly of No Limit. So a lot of those stuff is like getting me geared up, like to get me hyped. I got to go ahead and knock this thing out. So
you know what's crazy? All those are considered old school now.
Yeah, I know.
It's wild, ain't it? Like that's crazy.
But that's crazy, bro. You gonna add that new Kendrick to your playlist, bro? To get turned up.
I'm gonna put it on one of my playlists. So what I do, I have my mood playlist, and then every year when music come out, I create another playlist for that year. So right now I'm on G7. So where am I? I'm G7, right? Yep. So I guess I'll be H8 next year. So all the hot music that come out next year, I put it all in playlist. So that it's
like
almost like it's almost like an affinity playlist.
Yeah. I was like, did you got a spreadsheet?
Yeah, you said G7, H8. Like what?
You on Excel?
It is easy for me. It is easier for me to remember those playlists.
Hey, bro.
Wow.
Sit in there and think about trying to come up with a name for everyone. I just do it like that. But one of my coldest playlists that I love to listen to all the time, I got a series called The Calm, and The Calm 6 I call The Groove. And what's on that is Nick's Groove by Foreign Exchange, Passion Fruit by Drake, Olive by Nisha and Shine, if I'm not sure if y'all guys heard of them. Sunflower by Illa J, Blow by Beyonce, Blur Lines by Robin Thicke, Get
Oh, I heard that
Lucky,
in a minute.
Get Lucky Daft Punk, Back and
For
Forth
real.
B.O.B., By Design Kid Cudi, 24K Magic Bruno Mars, Heat Stroke Calvin Harris. Tell you I'm all over. Shining DJ Khaled, Andre Miller by the Gorillas. I know y'all remember the Gorillas.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm on Your Mind, Roy Ayers, Redbone, Childish Gambino, Hold On by Subtract. That's a producer out of Great Britain. Low Battery by Party Next Door. I'll Call You Back by Erica Badu.
Yeah, you all over the
I
place.
got like 30-something songs on this playlist every time I make this list for the Calm. Painting Graves by Emmett Finn, another British artist. Every Step, Every Way, Magic Jordan, one of Drake's group.
Yeah. Oh, Majid,
I
nice.
Feel It
Quick,
Coming.
quick
Go ahead.
question. Quick question. Do you like listen to Magic Jordan like that, or just like a song here or there?
I was on Magic Jordan from day one. Remember that website called Dat Piff?
Yes.
Yep.
They dropped their very first album
I
on
know what you
Dat
about to
Piff.
say, bruh. The one
And
with
they
the
just dropped it.
black cover with just their initials like MJ, but it was like this kind of artsy looking thing.
Yeah, they dropped their
Bruh,
first album on that. And they just
bruh.
released that on Apple Music, I think last year or earlier this year.
Yeah,
That
it
first
is.
album.
Man, to me, that album was criminally slept on,
It
and I
was.
cannot forgive
Because
Drake
it
for
was on Dat
mismanaging their
Piff.
career.
Well, he did the same thing with what's old boy? I actually kind of like him.
Division.
Not Division. He mismanaged them too.
Party
The
Next
one who
Door.
made
The Weeknd.
got the club going up on a Tuesday.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I
I
love
love
McConan.
McConan.
Yeah,
He was always gonna be a one hit wonder, bro.
well, it wasn't that. He sat on once he signed him. He just had him put out of the way. He could have been making music, and basically he got shelved.
You know, I'm gonna say this. A lot of people, I'm a respectfully disagree. A lot of people say that. So I let McConan actually put out music.
Yeah, he
It
did.
was just trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I listened to it. Like, I've listened to his stuff, and it was all garbage. Like, he had
I'm gonna
one
tell you
other song.
I'm gonna send you my McConan playlist, and you be like, you know what? Everything was on this is fire.
All right, hey, I'll listen to because I already like your sense of music, man. But yeah, that Magic Jordan, bro, that first album to me is criminally underrated. And even their last album, I don't know if you heard their last album, Good People. It came out late last year.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, every time
And
they
I
drop,
thought,
I download it.
yeah, I thought that those two albums specifically, to me, were criminally underrated. I think I went on and on about that album last year.
You mentioned you listened to some British artists, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Rye, I don't know if you remember this, DC. I know you did. We lived overseas, bro. You Robert Craig David?
Oh man, that's old.
Yeah, bro.
Monday, on Tuesday,
He was tough
we
though.
make love
Yeah,
by Wednesday.
yeah, bro. Hey, bro, them 7 days was tough, bro.
Yeah, them 7
That
days,
was
bro.
tough, bro.
Yeah, I remember Craig David.
Craig David was nice. I had to bring that out. I was like, man, British, bro. The only British artist I knew that was like popping like that for a minute. Like R&B wise, of course, Spice Girls, but
You didn't like Day?
Day was cool. But I'm just saying, Craig David, brother, the OG. Yeah. Shout out to the OG, bro. So,
but hey, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's your take on that new Kendrick, bro?
All right, that's what I was about to bring it back to because I think that's what we were trying to get to. All right, so when I first listened to it, matter of fact, let me pull up the playlist.
Oh, you about to break it down, man? About to break it down for us?
Because you look at it two different ways. So the first time I'm listening to it, my ears is like, all right, what songs pop out? That's what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah, same.
Right, and then the second time I'm going back. All right, let's see what you're actually saying. So the first time I listened to it, the lyrics of the first song popped out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch the beat at first, but I caught everything he said on that. Nas was the only person who congratulated. Everybody else seemed like they were irritated. I'm glad that they're showing their faces, right? So that stuck out. track 3 stuck out to me. The song that I slept on the first time listening to it
That's
was
Luther.
Man at the Garden, right? I kind of, when I first listened to it,
I
it
did
just
too.
went over my head. And actually, that's my favorite song on the album.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'll share
And
mine.
if you listen to the lyrics on that, Man at the
deserve it.
Garden, know what it remind me of?
One mic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which brings me back to track number 2, Squabble Up.
Slap.
Squabble Up remind me of that Kanye song on the album that didn't have any cover, On Sight. I'm just listening to the music, how's everything going in the background. That's the first thing I was like, oh, this sounds like On Sight. Let's see. Reincarnated, I like that song. I think he was trying to put his passion, the sound. He wasn't trying to sound like Tupac, but I think he was trying to put his passion in the song to
Yeah.
be
He was
like
trying to sound like
Tupac.
Tupac, but it sounded. I liked it, but he was definitely that was a Tupac flow. It was the hit 'em up beat.
It was a
No,
that's
that
It was
was
remixed. It was
Made Man.
remixed,
It was the
but that was
Made Man.
definitely the hit 'em up beat.
that
Made
was
Man.
made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But
TV
y'all
off.
should listen to that song and then play "Hit 'Em Up" right after it, and tell me
Nah,
they don't
it's-
sound
it's the-
incredibly similar.
It's the Made Man beat, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Huh?
it's
Go
Made Man.
listen to Gridlock.
Yeah.
Is it Gridlock? No. What's the
You
other?
talking about it's a Tupac song?
Yeah.
It is a
called
Tupac song.
It's an outlaw
called-
song, actually.
Yeah,
Outlaws.
Tupac and the
Well,
Outlaws.
yeah.
Oh, well, if it's on the Outlaws album, I know I've never heard it because I
Nah,
can't
it's on the
stand the Outlaws.
soundtrack.
It's on the soundtrack.
Okay.
What's the movie that he did with James Belushi?
Gridlock. Right?
Gridlock.
That was the
No,
name
it
of it.
wasn't Gridlock.
Okay.
Was that Gridlock? No, Gridlock was what he did with the other guy. James Belushi. This is when they was police officers. He came out 2 movies that year.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know you're talking about.
I know he came out with 2, and I
'Cause they
do
were both
not
Dirty
remember the
Cops.
other name. Yeah.
Yeah. They were Dirty Cops.
A movie that don't get talked about. That's that movie. A movie that don't get talked about.
Well, a lot of his movies didn't get talked about.
Outside of Juice. Juice was like
Gang
poetic
related.
justice.
Gang related.
Yeah, that's
gang
what it
related
was.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
So it's on there, and they crediting the song to Tupac. So go to that, and when you listen to that song, I still think I like Made better than the Reincarnated. You gotta
he did it right. Yeah, he did it right though. He
did some
redid it right.
justice.
Yeah.
He just didn't sample something and be like, oh, what did he do?
So
Let's see. I like the
Oh, go
Heart
ahead.
Part 6. TV off on my first time listening through. So the first time listening through, I will say Luther, TV off, and the Heart. All right, caught my eyes. And then when I went back through it, Man at the Garden, to me was probably my favorite song out of all of it, out of the whole album.
Okay.
What you guys take?
Rob.
I like Gloria.
I gotta leave it to Rob, bro. I say he's a bigger Kendrick fan than I am, and we both love K-Dot though. But Rob, bro, how you feel about it, bro?
I love it. I listened to it 8 times.
God, dog. That man said 8 times.
Well, I got to listen to it at least 4 times before I even make a verdict on if I like it or not, because it's a Kendrick album.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick albums ain't going like people be expecting to catch everything in first listen.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really, after the first listen, I was like, yeah, I like it. Second listen, I'm like, I like it. Third listen, I'm like, I really like it. Fourth listen, yo, this shit is fire. And that's where I'm at. So I
5, 6, 7, 8,
and it's 45 minutes, so it's not like
it's
a
44
super
minutes,
long album. So that was you know what I mean, 2 of those listens were workouts. And you know, I'm from Detroit, and Detroit has a Bay sound in itself. So like I like Bay type music. I text my man DC. It's like, bro, I wish I had your dreads right now because I'd be shaking them, bro. Like that's how I felt about it. You know what I mean? So
Ghost ride the whip.
yeah, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? I grew up. My brother was a big 40 fan, so I grew up listening to 40, Short, all those guys. You know what I mean? So the Bay, Mac Dre, Drew Down, you know what I mean? All those dudes, we listened
Doors
to.
open, man.
Yeah. Even though he wasn't Bay, but you know, my brother was big on Spice One. You know what I mean? So I'm a big LA lover. Like I understand the whole East Coast West Coast beef. I was more of a East Coast listener because of Big, favorite rapper of all time outside of Jay, bro. Like Big is just that's my guy. So I was happening to listen to the East a little bit more, but you know, when the West had his run, I was heavy on the West, bro. Like heavy. I thought I was in the dog pound at one point. You know what I mean? So to me, it gave me the element of, this album is for the West. And that's where I was hoping he goes with it, because all of his, not talk, but, the actions was showing that, we pro West right now. We gonna put the West back on the map, and we gonna show we unified. And he came out with an album that sound very West Coast. So I know it's not gonna hit to the masses. It's still gonna do well. I mean, he probably gonna hit 400, 500 first week. But I think for show, from a person who likes a West Coast sound, you'll like the album.
You don't think the masses will gravitate to it?
I think it's gonna get spins because of who he is right now, based off of what he just done. Will it get played like that? I don't know. That's a good question, because I didn't think
Luther's gonna go off. Luther's gonna get a video,
and I'm gonna say this. Why you say that?
Hard Part 6 will first.
Mm-hmm.
Any track that K-Dot get SZA on is a cheat code, bro. SZA is bro, stamp of approval, man. SZA is a dog, man. Like, she is just, I don't know, smooth. Because
listening to that, bro, she might be one of the most underrated feature artists and R&B singers.
I don't think she's underrated.
Bro.
I don't think she's underrated.
No.
I don't think she is.
Listen to me. She should be on more features. People need to grab her like ASAP, bro. That's why I say she's underrated, because people miss that boat. Doing collaborations with her.
I think that's intentional, though.
Correct. I do too.
Why? Because of the relationship.
I don't think she's overlooked. I think what it is, she's probably just ignoring calls.
Yeah.
I think that's what me and Rod are saying. It's like, it ain't like people are not tapping SZA. She's just like, nah, I'm good. She's not just doing features for everybody.
I'm just saying, bro, because she could, and I don't hear my heart when I say it, and I say it lightly, because she could be that female Nate Dogg. Because she can be on anybody hook and anybody thing and bring life to a track, bro. Her voice is amazing. That's why I say
Tip got me hooked on SZA on her first album.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all I'm saying, because, and y'all might be right. She might be like, nah, I'm straight, bro, because she is more of like that hermit crab type. She talks about that, her personality. She is kind of like that.
If you listen to Punch, which I follow Punch, and I watch a lot of interviews. Well, not a lot. I've watched the interviews he's done, and Punch is one that's instrumental to SZA. He has to almost force her to put out music sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I said. She kind of keeps
heard about
that. And I thought about this too. She's from Jersey, but bro, she is so LA, bro. Like, LA is like, nah, you us. Like, she from Jersey, bro. But like, if you go to California, bro, like, nah, she's all LA, bro.
Yeah, stamp on pro. She a cheat code though. So yeah.
But to your point, I think I've heard that. Actually, I think I've heard her say that in interviews, Rod, that basically she'll record, like, she might record like literally 200 songs, and they'll be like, look, that's enough. We're gonna pick some and put it out, because what are we doing?
Yeah,
like she's kind of like a known perfectionist, so to speak. So by the time her that's why it took so long for her sophomore album to come out.
Yeah,
because she was just recording, and everything she did, she just felt it wasn't good enough. And just like Rod said, Punch would be like, look, we got 500 songs. Like, let's pick 12. You know what I'm saying? and put them out. So.
But that's dope. I would say, but I think Luther could get a video. I think the Hard Part 6 will get a video first, man. I'll leave you last, DC, because I know you made a good take. But for me, the first one, and I text y'all, I was like, it needs some I like it, but I think it's missing some
And see, I ain't never feel that. Even
and I listened to it again, and then one, and I'm gonna call myself out because my wife called me out, because obviously we were out hanging out when it dropped. I kind of fell asleep in the car because I was tired, so I played it back because I missed some songs. Played it back, and I was like, oh, this is tough. So I only listened to I'm like 2.5. I ain't on 8 like Rob. But listening to it fully, I was riding by myself. I was like, yeah, this thing tough. The Hard Part 6 is my favorite song. I think that's gonna get a music video first.
Hey, and I'm glad he did a Heart 6 too. I know it's not the Heart Part 6. It's his Heart Part 6, but I'm glad he still stuck to the heart, even though Drake did his title.
That don't count.
He still was like, yo, I'm still taking it back, bro. I like that.
That sample, that collab, I can see a visual for that with SWV, and I think that would be amazing. That's why I think that would be a video first. And Kendrick does pay homage to the ones before him, and so that's why I think that would be a video first. Cause he is so good with that CGI, bro. You know, from the Hurt Part 5. If he could do something with Luther, bro.
I'm thinking Squabble Up, bro. Squabble
Squabble
Up
Up
is gonna
coming.
be the
That's
first
gonna
video.
be crazy. Cause that is the Not Like Us. Like, that's where I said, man, I feel like I can just throw up gang signs all day. Listen to Squabble Up, bro. I'm out here.
Yeah.
I'm B-walking. I'm C-walking. I'm doing everything. But Squabble Up is different, bro. That took me back to, and the first thing I envisioned when I heard that, I was like, yo, Uncle Jerome, Snowfall. Remember you selling stereos?
Teach your boy how to squabble. Teach a man's how to squabble.
You remember he was selling? Remember he had the stereo shop, and I was like, oh, this is Uncle Jerome all day. I see Uncle Jerome riding all day, and this is Snowfall, bro.
Yeah.
That took me back there, gave me a good laugh, man. And I just felt good about that song, man. Reincarnated, bro. Yes, there was a semblance of cadence with Pop, but I just like that track, bro. I actually wanted to Google some of that stuff. Like, bro, is he really talking about somebody for real? Let me go Google some of this stuff because he has a way of having those entendres. Like,
so let's talk about that song. Who was he talking about on that song besides himself?
I don't know.
Who was those other artists?
Who'd you look it up, bro? I haven't looked.
I didn't look it up. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't found it yet.
I know the last
we know
verse
one
was
is from
himself.
Michigan.
Yeah,
we know one
so
is from
taken to
Michigan
Michigan in 1947.
And so why was somebody who played the guitar?
Yeah, I don't know. I
gotta Google it, bro. I'm going Genius because you know Genius usually would tell you like a little insight about that bar.
Yeah, at first I was thinking he was talking about Pac's parents, but then I quickly realized that wasn't the case. But I do believe that it's whoever it is, it's a real person. I don't think it's all made up because you know Kendrick is known to just make stuff up, and I'm not saying that in a damn way. He's just very imaginative.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like Good Kid, Mad City, like all those little skits and whatnot. You know, those voicemails and whatnot. It sounds real, but it wasn't real. Like all of it was made up. You know, and matter of fact, when I first listened to Good Kid, Mad City, I really thought it was real at first.
Yep,
like I thought he took like real stuff and just made an album around it. But you know, it's all fabricated. So he's just that imaginative and creative that he could have just made the whole thing up, or it could be based off of somebody real. You know, I don't know.
I think those are two real people, especially when he was talking about the young lady with the voice and everything, and then she got hooked up on drugs. That could have been anybody in between the 60s and the
70s, bro. Yeah, man. Check that second, bro. Like it was amazing for me. It was a great project overall, man. And I wonder what's the visuals are gonna come from it now. That's what I'm anticipating. The visuals, man.
You're saying that's not the only project when we was talking offline. So you think he dropped the next project in January or February? Or you wait to March after the Super Bowl?
It's coming before the Super Bowl.
So February then.
You think there's another project coming?
I don't think I know.
So is this something you've read, or this is just like a feeling that you're incredibly confident about?
He's saying
bet
over.
I see. I follow a lot of people that's affiliated to Kendrick.
I got you.
And their cryptic messages have never been wrong. I will tell you that. And
I got you.
When they say that's just the beginning, stay tuned, I believe it. You know what was weird too? I didn't obviously this was a surprise drop in DC. We gonna get your take too because I didn't get your official take.
I want to hear your take.
But what was weird is I missed the snippet and I saw DC post a snippet. But I was, Friday was a busy day at work. I was hitting my boy up on some Michigan stuff, Michigan football. He was like, "Yeah, you see that Kendrick just dropped?" I said, "Just drop what?" He said, "The album just dropped." I said, "You lying?" I looked on my Apple Music real quick. I'm like, "Yo, all right, I'm gonna have to hit you back." And that's when I hit the group. Like, "Yo, we got some good music."
Instantly, I came. Yeah, I was like, man, we were leaving. We was in Fort Mill. We was at Biscuit Belly. And I saw the text, and I was like, and my wife since the Amazon concert, she'd been following Kendrick, and I was like, "Yo, Kendrick just dropped the album." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, Kendrick just dropped the album."
Yeah, my son been following. Like Tyler was excited, and we got the clean copy now, so he can actually listen to it.
Nice.
So, quick question for you, Rod: the J. Cole album being re-dropped, you think that was by design because Kendrick dropped his album, so they decided to release one of his old albums on the same day?
About that, but after thinking about it, I was like, I don't think so. I think they were probably planning it anyway. I think they were just probably planning it anyway, and it just happened because he's been doing these I don't know if it's a podcast, some sort of interview that's been releasing through audio, where he's kind of channeling back through making those albums. So I'm thinking, if I'm him, while I'm talking about my process of going through it, almost how Drake is releasing like this vaulted stuff, he's actually talking about it in interview form. And I'm thinking they're just releasing everything to the masses, at least the DSPs, in the same moment that he's talking about it. Now I can't like confirm that, but that would be my idea.
What I've been noticing since Dat Piff's been shut down, a lot of those albums when people first trying to hit it and make it, they're finding their way to Apple Music now. Being re-released. So
as it should, man. Like all that
people
stuff should
need to
be
hear
on
it.
DSPs.
Yeah,
all day.
Yeah,
So
100%.
DC, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, I
bro?
think just to touch on the whole J. Cole thing. No, I don't think that he did anything in response to K. Dot. I don't even think really J. Cole doesn't move that way. And another thing, J. Cole technically dropped that mixtape before GNX. So because GNX didn't drop until like the middle of the day. Bro, I check new music every morning. I get up like about 6 in the morning.
Yes, you do.
Rod into, y'all wake up to text just random songs and albums. You're like, what? This man don't sleep. So there's no way I overlooked that Kendrick Lamar album. Like it did not come out until like 11 or 12 o'clock in the day. And Cole, we know Cole is not a competitor, on that level. So no, I don't think there was anything. I really believe that him re-releasing that mixtape is just part of his album rollout, just like that little podcast thing. I know what you're talking about, Rod, with that. I just think that's just part of his normal rollout. And the Cole album it had to be December, I would think, if it drops this year. Now we want to talk about Cole. What could happen is he might push his album back based off of this K. Dot drop. You know what I'm saying? This K. Dot might move some release dates for a few A-list artists. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been saying this all year. The heavy hitters generally drop in the fall and the winter, generally speaking. Now this is really late. Like we're basically almost in December now. You don't generally see people wait this long with the A-listers, which is why I'm thinking, man, Cole might actually push his date back based off of this K. Dot thing.
I think somebody big gonna drop an album in December because they're trying to get that holiday money.
Yeah, and see, the only thing is, I don't know who else is up except for Cole. I don't know who else is
Drake and
like
Party.
due for an album.
Drake
and Party's supposed to be dropping.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Drake and Party. That's right. So yeah, and I'm sure that will drop.
bro.
He gonna bounce back, bro. He gonna bounce back. But the K. Dot album. One last thing I'll say is, talking about Luther. Luther is the only song on the album that doesn't have the parental advisory. So I'm I am positive that that's going to be a lead single and it's going to be at the Super Bowl. SZA's going to be at the Super Bowl for sure.
She already announced that.
Oh, she did?
Well, I saw something that announced it. They said it's confirmed that SZA will be at the Super Bowl. Now I got to fact check that.
Okay. Well, even so, she's going to be. There's no way Luther comes out and she's not on stage.
Yeah.
And she's had a monster year herself. You know what I'm saying, on the R&B tip. So she's going to be on stage. It's going to be Luther. Wayne is not going to be there. if y'all heard Whacked Out Murals,
that was me.
And his response, Wayne will not be in the building at all. I don't think, not even in one of the boxes. But man, that Kendrick Lamar, I'm gonna tell you, bro, as a hip hop head, it was an amazing album. I would say it was probably the easiest listen that he's dropped since Good Kid, Mad City. To Rod's point, you say you listened to it, so many times before you can say, okay, this is what it is. Because a lot of his music is just heavy. It's layered. It's complex. And, depending on what you're looking for, it just doesn't always ride like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, even Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, even though we all know it did numbers, if you were to go to social media and read through the comments, a lot of people boo-booed on that album. They called it a snooze fest, called it boring, this, that, and the third. But that was a very deep and layered album. That's just the kind of artist he is. And each album kind of gets more and more layered, it seems. But this one here, it was just easy, bro. Like, you can just push play and go. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't catch everything the first time around, it's just rocking, man. Don, I listen to music the same way you do. I don't check for lyrics for so much the first time. It's just, how does it feel? Can I ride to this? Can I bounce to this? Can I just does it get the blood going? And this definitely checks all those boxes, man. Um, Another thing about K Dot, bro, is, man, K Dot is a student of the game. Like there's so many little nuances that I caught that I don't know if they're Easter eggs. I think it's just more a nod of how serious he takes the craft. So like even with Whacked Out Murals, right? So Whacked Out Murals, you listen to it, sounds like a very stripped down, basic, made in somebody's basement kind of beat, but it's got some nuances that I picked up on. One, we talked about it, Kendrick Lamar's from the West Coast. We know this. In my opinion, he's kind of a unicorn. He's almost like an Andre 3000. 3 Stacks is from Atlanta, but Stacks could have been from anywhere. He just happened to be from Atlanta. Atlanta got lucky. He could have been from Wisconsin. He could have been from Virginia, and he still would have been Stacks. Like he doesn't
Not
make
Wisconsin.
yeah, maybe not Wisconsin. Maybe not Wisconsin. But the kind of music he make, like you don't listen to Stacks and say, "Oh, that's Atlanta." You just say that because you know he's from Atlanta. But like Future, for example, if you didn't know who Future was, you know that's Atlanta music. He's unapologetically Atlanta. This is how I describe Kendrick Lamar. Yes, he's from LA, but he's just kind of a unicorn. He just kind of does whatever he wants.
Black hippie, man.
Yeah. So this is the first album that I've heard, to Rod's point, that sounds like, oh, he from LA. You know what I'm saying? And even Whacked Out Mural, bro, the underlying bass line, the first thing I heard was 5 on it. By I think it's the Loonies. I think.
Yep.
I got 5. It sounded like the slow down bass line. It also sounded a little bit like Nas to me. The If I Rule the World, that bass line.
Yep. That's what I heard.
Yeah, and what's crazy is he clearly made at least another nod to Nas with Man at the Garden. I mean, that's clearly, inspired by One Mic. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious. I mean, it's Nas. I mean, Nas is my GOAT, so that's not a criticism at all. But Whacked Out Murals, man, the way that he spoke on current state of affairs. To me, another thing about Whacked Out Murals is he really kind of took a page from Drake's book into the timestamp rap, because there's no hook. It's just raps. And he's rapping about stuff that just happened. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even a diss. It was you just making observations. If you feel some kind of way about it, Wayne,
that's on you.
That's on you. You know what I'm saying? But he was just talking, and he talked for about 5 minutes straight. And I was with it. Squabble Up. Come on, bro. Like, that's a victory lap song to me. Like that's just amazing. Luther.
Yeah, I didn't get that on-site vibe with Squabble Up. That was the only thing I was thinking was Kanye West is on site.
I didn't. I can see that. I didn't.
Listen
get
to the music, not the lyrics. Listen to the music.
Yeah.
And listen to On Site by Kanye. You put the music towards each other, it's very similar. It got some Kanye West DNA in there.
Okay, I wouldn't doubt it. Reincarnated, yeah, clearly that's Tupac. You know what I'm saying? He took the whole Tupac cadence, the way he inflected his words, the beat. I know y'all said it's from the movie. I heard Hit 'Em Up. Matter of fact, I actually played Hit 'Em Up afterwards. To me, they sound dang near not the same, but clearly that's a Pac-inspired song.
When you listen to Made, you'll see what we're talking about.
I'm gonna check it out. Bro, you know me. I'm gonna listen to it after the pod.
Yeah,
you
they had a video for it. Remember the video?
Like, wow.
They was like
That's
passing the camera to each other. It's like the camera was all in their face and they passing it to each other. Boom! When I enter the room, I ain't gonna start rapping it. But
man.
Yeah.
But Reincarnated was dope.
About to have me play it right now.
All right.
Yeah, that was the Dodger Blue. That was hard. But TV Off. Bro, TV Off. That's going on the gym playlist.
It's already on there. When I worked out yesterday. On the gym playlist. I'll get the notifications. I was like, I gotta put this on here.
That's already a social media favorite with the mustard tag.
Mustard. I think why is because that was just so unexpected. Like you listen to the song, he's like, yeah, this is cool.
The
And all
beat
of a
switch
sudden,
up.
it's just like,
It
wait, what?
changed to a different
What?
song.
Yeah.
What? And then the
But
strings.
Kendrick's known for that though, bro. He'll switch it up. He's known for that, and I missed that the first time around. So the second time around, I got back to it. I was like, yeah, because Ryan, I'm with you. I'm like, I'm waiting for that beat switch up because I that's one of my favorite things that Kendrick does for me. I'm like, yeah, he about to switch it up and go crazy. So like that did it though. I'm with you.
I guarantee you that every single HBCU band right now is rehearsing that song. Every single one.
Well, they were already
HBCU,
playing
like the marching bands to cover it.
They
They're gonna be covering
played
TV
that.
off. And them halftime shows is about to be somebody halftime show probably next Saturday is going to be.
They already played Squabble Up at I think it was Texas A&M.
Yep.
The
Was it
band
Texas
did?
A&M?
Yeah, I saw it last night.
Nah, they was playing it over the speakers at the stadium.
Oh,
the game. Yeah.
I'm about to say, bro, if the band got that already, yo,
That's
somebody
playing at the
deserves
Auburn
a
game.
raise.
That's playing at the Auburn game. Just the song itself. That's playing at the Auburn Jackson A&M game last night.
I got you.
So
bro,
I mean, like you said, the bands are practicing though. They're practicing. I agree.
Yeah, the TV off is going to be in a lot of college programs, college band programs, specifically HBCUs. Ready for that? Peekaboo is probably one of my favorite sleepers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I didn't like that at first, and then I came back. That was probably time 3. I was like, actually, I get it now, bro.
Sleeper.
I get it.
Yeah. Sleeper. Hard Part 6 was dope as well. One thing I like about that, this is the first time that I've seen somebody have a series kind of get interrupted, as in, what's his name? Kendrick owns the Heart series, of course. Drake tried to steal that thunder, and Kendrick completely just ignored it. Like he didn't acknowledge it whatsoever, and he did Hard Part 6. This is not the first time that somebody's series has been stolen. Wayne, you had the Barter 6 with Young Thug when they had their whole thing. Well, he wanted to do the Carter 6, but then they got legal and he changed it to the Barter 6. Wayne dropped Carter 5, and there's no more Carter series. You know what I'm saying? This has also happened with Drake. Now, maybe mind you, the jury is still out because Drake hasn't dropped any more albums, but Kendrick took the timestamp during their diss. We haven't heard a timestamp since. It's only been a few months, but that's what we got. So Drake tries to basically take over the series, and Kendrick takes it back without even acknowledging the fact that that Drake tried to steal it in the first place. To me, that's a low key flex that maybe, man, I noticed it. I don't know if that was no, bump that. It was intentional.
It was intentional.
Like it was definitely intentional. So I definitely like that chess move. Man, it was a great album, bro. It was a great album. It was his best, to me, it was his best album since Good Kid, Mad City. Give it some time. It could leapfrog Good Kid, bro. It might. If he drops another album, it could, bro. Like I'm not gonna say it is now. It's only been a few days, right? So I could be a prisoner of the moment. As far as it being the best since, I'm standing on that, and I'll probably say the same thing next year. But give it some time, bro. I know that Rod is saying that another album is coming up. Maybe it is, but if there weren't, I think this will be enough to take over 2025.
Okay. And just
you know
know
what I'm saying?
That another album, I guess it could be a deluxe. So I guess I can't read too much into it. So it could be a deluxe version with more songs, or it could be the way they're making it sound like it's a whole nother album. Like this is not the project. Almost like how Cole dropped the Fall Off, and the Fall Off is not the project, but it was a project. This is, hey, here's the fans, here's to feed you.
Yeah, it's like a mixtape, basically.
But something's bigger coming. That's how they were making it sound.
It could be. One thing I wouldn't be surprised is if this Worth album, he does a deluxe version later, and he just goes on a feature run. Because, Kendrick doesn't do a whole lot of features like that.
Yeah.
I could see maybe he does a feature run similar to a Wayne or a Future. You know what I'm saying? Or even a J. Cole. He just starts boo-booing on everybody's track. And I don't know. But if he does none of that, to me, GNX is enough. I like the nods,
my favorite
the
car,
historical
by the way.
nods he did all across the album, which has got me thinking about something, right? So he channeled Tupac he channeled Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Those, at the very least, those two are obvious. And I love it. I'm here for it. However, I do see the irony in the fact that he channeled those artists. He's getting heralded for it. He's on everybody's shoulders. But what Drake does it is cultural appropriation. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that when one artist channels other artists, because we clearly see that, but then we see another person do it, it's a glaring hypocrisy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what makes Drake different, and not to say one is right or one is wrong, but what makes Drake different is he does it to artists that are here right now. Like he'll hear I don't even know the
Nas is here. Nas just won a Grammy a couple years ago.
Bro, Nas is 152 years old, bro.
He just won a Grammy a couple years ago.
100. How long ago did one mic come out?
Grammy.
How long ago did one mic come out?
It was a while ago.
Stillmatic, right?
Like
that was Stillmatic.
Over 20 years ago.
It was about 20 years ago.
What did we say something becomes vintage as? 20 years, right? So I'm
your words, DZ.
Yeah, that's your words, bro.
I got something for you. Go ahead, cook.
So we're dating back to paying homage. There's a different thing than channeling and paying homage than, bro, I'm completely jacking your style. And I think that's where Drake comes in. He might hear a London flow right now. I'm like, oh, damn, I'm gonna be London today. So that's the difference, in my opinion.
DC,
right.
before you answer, before you answer, DC, I'm gonna pass it to our guest though. Donald, do you have an answer to that question DC asked? Because DC getting ready to cook. I see he got the spoon in his hand.
I just think Drake being from Canada, right? That he's able to, be a chameleon, and he's being called out on it. Now, is it fair? No, but he enjoyed those luxuries to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And Kendrick broke it down. I mean, he really did broke it down in one song when he sang The Real Challenge. When you go to Atlanta, because you need to check. He broke everything down.
False. That's a false narrative. No,
but he broke
Drake
it down.
Put those people on. The masses did not know who any of those people were until Drake.
But he still needs Atlanta. Like he needs Atlanta.
So wait a minute.
Drake was Drake before Atlanta.
You cannot tell him.
No, but I'm saying but he still needs Atlanta as well. Like even his fanboy, his biggest fanboy, Academic said Drake needs Atlanta. Like Drake needs that connection to Atlanta for the sake of his artistry, bro. Like he needs Atlanta, even though he put them on. I'm not going to say he didn't, but there's mutual need there. Like at the time, they needed Drake to get on, but he needs that pipeline to Atlanta as well, right? And I'm not trying to say it's wrong that he needs Atlanta. Like, bro, like everybody needs it. Kendrick needs the West, bro. Like it just is what it is. Some people need regions. It ain't like I can just go back and say, oh, I need Canada, bro. Like I that ain't gonna help me in the U.S. sales, bro. So I need Atlanta pipeline. I'm going to have LA to an extent. I'm gonna have probably split now, but think of it like the electoral college, right? Think of it like that. Certain swing states you just need, bro. Like certain swing states for my rise to continue to grow, I need this region. For Drake, it's the South, right? He needs Atlanta. He needs Houston. He needs those the two biggest ones, I would say, that he needs to stay with him. Not saying that he needs him to be Drake, but he needs that region to stay on top. Or else, if like, and Kendrick's not going to take those swing states from him. But let's say a Future decided that, you know what? I want to be the president now. I want to be top dog. Future's going to take Atlanta. Future's going to take Miami. That's the other one. Miami. That's the other one that Drake needs too. Future's going to take Miami. Future's going to take basically the South. And he will get those votes for that. You know what I mean? And that's the difference.
This is a good analogy.
So real quick,
ahead,
because I see we going down another rabbit hole. I do want to touch on one thing Rod was saying as far as paying homage and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess basically it's cool for K-Dot to do it for Nas because that Nas song is so old and Tupac's so old.
But I said whether it's right or wrong. I didn't say it was right or wrong, but I'm saying that's what the difference is from my islands.
I got you. So Drake has done the exact same thing and still got 8. He did a song with YG, Who Do You Love? Where he did a verse from, I think, Mac Dre from the Bay, I believe, or something like that. He did the verse,
which was dope,
and he credited the man. The man was the dude was credited on the song, and they Drake bit this guy, woo 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 woo. But he spit a verse that he spit a classic California verse that everybody knew, and he never tried to hide it.
This is me being honest though. Like, did he? I'm not trying to joke, and then like seriously, because I don't remember there being backlash over. There was backlash over him using the Mac Dre sound. I don't remember.
Yeah, because what happened was, so a lot of people who don't know the history of hip hop, because it's a very, very old verse, they just assumed that, oh man, Drake just came with this classic West Coast verse. He's the best ever, not realizing that he was really just covering somebody else's verse and paying homage. You know what I'm saying? And when, I guess, inevitably came out, I'm doing air quotes, then people are like, oh, Drake, you're a biter. You stole this person's lyrics, woo woo woo. But it's like he didn't steal anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just he shows love. He showed love to the West Coast, just like he shows love to pretty much every coast he ever visits, every region.
I actually like that verse.
He got flamed for it.
Yeah, I actually like that verse. I like that verse that he had with YG. Like that.
Yeah, and when I say flame, I mean I'm talking. It's all relative, right? I mean, just like today, you would think
Jay used to get it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's all relative. But I guess what I'm saying is like, wow, like K Dot does it, and it's like, oh, he's a genius. He's artistic. Woo woo woo. And then somebody else does the same thing, and it's like, you're a biter. You can't come up with anything yourself. like imagine me listening to Reincarnated. Like, man, you can't rap like anybody other than Tupac. Like Tupac been dead since '96.
So
you can't do better than that.
The difference is, DC. I think the difference is this: Drake has the ear of the masses. If you know what I'm talking about when I quote unquote say the masses.
I do.
All right. And Kendrick has the ear, we'll say, of the people.
I knew he was about to say that.
Right? and that's the difference, because we know the masses will take some stuff and run with it, right? Just think about it. You had New Edition. They say, you got New Kids on the Block. They'll make their own version of it.
You got Living Single, and then you got
So that I think that's the difference, and that's why the song called Backlash. And I think that's why he's getting it. Unfortunately, when you're successful, you're gonna have people trying to tear you down.
Yeah.
And that's at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to now.
Look, everybody's flawed, right? You can find something in anybody's game that you can point out. Like I can say, Kendrick recites a lot of the same lines in some aspects, right? Everybody has their thing that you can point out. I think what made Drake's so glaring, one, he was on top, right? He still is on top. I'm not going to even say was. He's still on top. He's just having he might be down in the fourth quarter right now. He ain't winning this game at the moment, but he's still, I think, on pace to be a champ. You know what I mean? The difference was the arrogance got to him, man. Like he got a little too cocky, a little too big for his own britches, as my parents used to say, and he got called out for it. And it was at the perfect time because people were starting to get fatigued with him. So that's what
fatigue. I agree with that.
Yeah,
100%. You get tired of the same person winning over and over again.
Yeah.
But my thing is just say that. Don't come with all this stuff about like, oh, he did this or that. Just say, I want something new.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to Rod. I'm just talking to the people.
Yeah, man. A lot of people not gonna ever admit that, though, man. Before we wrap, I got one last question for you, Donald, man. Let's say it away, bro. You kind of hit on it, right? We talk about then and now, bro. If you can go 15 to 20 years back and visit your younger self, bro, what conversation would you have with him?
I would say I would have done this 22 years ago. What I'm doing now, I'm sales, right? So let's just take a look at the macro version, right? Instead of looking at it from a micro standpoint. Businesses always going to need somebody to sell something. For all lines of business, I don't care what kind of business you're in, sales is the life. It's your bloodlines of any business.
That's a fact. That's why people you see like these millionaires. I'm sorry, Don. You see these millionaires and whatnot. And people are like, oh, why is this person rich? The real people are in grinding and whatnot. That's why sales are the lifeblood. My bad, but keep cooking.
All right. So, and let's take that, right? And then let's take it to another. Let's take it further. And not being afraid to be a 1099. If I'm already telling you that sales is the lifeline or the bloodline of every business, when it comes to a 1099 doesn't shows up on the business spreadsheet when they have to talk about reducing or cutting or doing layoffs, right? So it's fortunate that most salespeople are 1099s, which allows companies to still operate and make money, which also they're not on their sheet as overhead costs. So you got those two things. So if I had to start over, I would still do a 1099 job. This is me talking 20 years ago, and I probably would have bartend that night, right? As I'm honing in my skills, doing sales, I can get tips at night. That will hold me over. So, and I think Mark Cuban also kind of has similar thoughts. If he had to start over, what would he do? And I believe he would say he would get himself a sales job also and become a bartender.
Facts.
What's up, bro?
But you kind of told when you in college, when you graduate, you find you a W-2 job and you figure it out from there. All right. So everybody want to know what's to be known, but nobody wants to experience what's unknown. And sometimes you just got to take a deep dive and just go for it. Just believe that you got you.
For sure, bro. That's what's up, man. All day, bro. Some words, bro. I might have to go that direction myself, bro. Since I graduated, bro. A lot of jobs in IT, they got W-2s, but the 1099s, which makes you valuable because you can float everywhere too.
And then don't be afraid of a contract, man.
Yeah, you can float.
Those are sweet.
Yep. I seen
take
those.
a
They got like
6 month or 9 month contract.
I see like a 6 and a 9, and then I'm like, you can do a 6 and a 9 at this one organization and do another like 3 to 6 at another organization at the same time.
And just think about it. A lot of times, well, most people problem at work is they get bored, right? It gets monotonous. With you popping in 6 to 9 months, you're doing something new, so you're staying fresh and you're staying engaged.
Facts, bro. Man, before we wrap up, man, as always, man, Donald, bro, thank you. Appreciate
no
you.
worries, man.
This is love,
Thanks for having me on.
Bro, ain't nothing to it, bro. Love this. As always, man, Rod, you got to get those words of encouragement to the people, man. Like, what's on your mind, G?
It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. Queen Elizabeth II.
Love that, bro. Man, this is always all love, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. Donna, as always, appreciate you, bro. We gonna show up again the next bash. We there. We always there, man. And as always, man, Rod, he always introduces himself with those 3 words. I end the show with 3 words. Kill the music!